Alright, recording time, baby.
As a successful YouTube channel, what if they try to contact you? Jay, keeping up with comments and notifications and every little thing that you tell people, it's tough. It takes time. It takes effort. I know you'll never know what it's like. So you're just gonna have to kind of take my word for it on this. Or you could just go to Google and type in PS4 emulator and do a little bit, just a teeny weensy little bit of research yourself.
Since you guys, for whatever and however you are finding my fucking channel.
Alright, Jay, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. Let's see just what do people find when they search your name in YouTube? What do they find? What do they find? Okay, your name pops up first. 1,317 videos, 6,600 subs. And your icon says PlayStation Legion Gamers. Not a lot of people are gonna click on that. Second video, me. Third video, me. Fourth video, someone making fun of you. This video, me. Someone making fun of you. And then the first video of yours that pops up has a thumbnail with my face on it. It's got my face on it. The face that they've been staring at so far because my videos are the popular ones. My videos are the ones that people actually watch and enjoy.
I feel it's too
because I make good content.
We're working on it, right?
Go down again. Another video by me. Another video by me. Someone making fun of you. Your second channel with 227 subs you haven't used in a month. Someone making fun of you. Someone making fun of you. A video of you from 2 years ago opening a PS4. Someone making fun of you. 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 Jack Move Johnny, you mad? Someone, I don't even know who the rated D is. Here's a video of you unboxing a game. Someone making fun of you. Someone making fun of you. Someone making fun of you. Another video by you. A video by you. Someone making fun of 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 you. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that later. Someone making fun of you. All these videos that they find when they search your name, they don't find your content. They find your content in a sea of other people's content that is calling you out, that is criticizing the things that you say, that is roasting you.
It's so fucking hard trying to
That's what people find. Your public image, JTech TV, is incredibly negative. Either through other more handsome and well-endowed content creators like myself, or through all the other people through the years who have been exposing you and the lies that you tell and the buffoonery that you exhibit for the world. That's your legacy. That's your image. That's your reputation. And it's all a result of the things that you have done, Jay.
Channel is a very small channel here.
And have you ever asked yourself why it continues to be very small despite your 1,300 plus videos, Jay? The deleting comments, the copyright notices and malafides, does it all ever occur to you that there might be a reason why you are still a small channel that is normally just the butt of other people's jokes?
I understand I don't got enough subscribers to be elite on YouTube.
No, Jay, you lack the capacity to be elite on YouTube. You do not have the character or the talent necessary to become elite on YouTube.
Okay, so that's what we get. So that's the
But you're finding the channel, and you're finding PC Master Race videos that I'm making. Look, give me the information or get the fuck off my video.
One of the most disingenuous things you have ever said, Jay. The delete spree of comments that you always go under, and the fact that you never respond to videos that I've done, it just shows that you're not interested in information. You don't want information. How you've been ignoring it all these years is beyond me. I would have wisened up at this point, but of course, I'm a better man than you.
Simple as that. If you can't prove yourself in the statements that you say, you're fucking lying. And you're cluttering the comment section with bullshit.
That's how he justifies it, of course. That's how he'll justify it to himself, that you're cluttering the comment section with bullshit. Doesn't matter how much reason, doesn't matter how many statistics or graphs or links you give to this man, and it doesn't matter for how many years that you throw all this information at him. He will convince himself that it is not true. He will convince himself that it's worthless. He will convince himself that he can somehow have a justifiable reason to just delete it, get rid of it.
Please explain to me since you guys are probably on your way right now to dislike the fuck out of this video, stay a little while.
No, Jay, your content is fucking atrocious. Nobody can sit through this amount of time. I'm only doing it because I know I could get success off of your idiocy. I am subjecting myself to the cognito hazard
Actually,
that is your channel.
That represents it
So
pretty
that
well.
tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of people can be subjected to this train wreck that you've created. And those tens upon tens of thousands of people can see your foolishness in your own words.
In the comment section, explain to me why you guys want Kingdom Hearts if you have emulators. You're illegally playing these games for free without giving Disney or Square Enix their fair share in money for creating this great game. You're playing them for free.
We have enough exclusives of our own to worry about. I mean, I could do the list again, but you wouldn't care. And plus, so few people actually do emulate. I mean, there's a reason that this stuff wasn't just instantly taken down by these companies. Not enough people do it, Jay. Not enough people do it. For years, console gamers keep throwing up the flag and saying, well, on the PC, they emulate games, they steal games. Well, nothing's being done about it. It's obviously not much of an issue to these developers. Because emulation, it's not a lost sale.
The real fans like myself, which have brought Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, Chain of Memories, on the PS2 rightfully, and then I turned around and brought Kingdom Hearts 1.5 on the PS3, enjoyed it. I just don't understand. You want the game on PC.
Yes, because we own PCs.
Many of you guys brag about the fact that you can play it using an emulator,
Yeah, we have the capacity to.
where you don't give Disney their money, you don't give Square Enix your money.
Now, Jay, in all your infinite wisdom, have you ever considered that we don't mind at all giving developers who make good games money? Of course not. Of course we're ready to give money to developers and publishers who make good game experiences. But it's not that simple. If a game isn't on your platform, you can't just buy a $60, $50 game. You have to spend hundreds of dollars on an entirely new console to also play that game, plus the online fees if you want to play that game online. It's not just buying one game, Jay. Get it through your thick skull.
And you think it's alright. And then you wonder why developers on different consoles refuse to even put their games on your system. Think about it.
You are the last person in the universe to be telling people to think about things, Jay.
Think about it. Listen to this. Disney games featured on Steam today. Please, please, let this lead to PC version of Kingdom Hearts. Beggar. Like a motherfucker.
He's saying Disney games are coming to Steam and he hopes this leads to Kingdom Hearts coming to the PC. What is Jay's response? I hope so too because it's a great game and I want you to enjoy it as well? No. What does he say? Beggar. Like a motherfucker. JTech TV, everybody. I mean, there you go. What needs to be said?
I would probably explode from excitement if Kingdom Hearts made it to PC. Don't really care.
Yes, you do, Jay. You're featuring his tweet in your video.
I do hope he explodes though. If that's what he wants.
Awfully callous thing to say.
Anyone else wish Kingdom Hearts would come to PC? I want to play this new set of games so bad, but no money for PS4. Make it happen, Square Enix. Demanding Square Enix to do something that will probably make them lose more money.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. I didn't hear you there. Could you repeat yourself, please? That last bit. One more time.
Demanding Square Enix to do something that will probably make them lose more money.
Make Square Enix lose even more money, huh? Wow, well, let's take a look at that. Because I googled Square Enix profits, and that's weird. What's this? It says the Tokyo headquartered company reported $1.3 billion in sales for the period, which represents a 28% increase compared to the same 9 months in 2014. Operating profit, meanwhile, was $202 million in 2015, compared to $125 million in 2014. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Jay just told me that Square Enix releasing games on the PC would lose Square Enix money. Well, I guess Jay was talking out of his asshole because the first things that pop up are GameStop articles. Sorry, GameStop. Oh boy. Actually, if you rearrange GameSpot, you get GameStop. Oh boy. Anyway, you get GameSpot articles that say Square Enix profits surge thanks to mobile and PC games, and Square Enix revenues and profits rise as publisher sees major changes incoming. Subtitle, yeah, smartphones and tablet PC are spreading rapidly. Huh, that's weird. This article by Tamoor Hussain says games and platforms such as PC and mobile continued to show strong performances. Huh. The launches of Final Fantasy, Mobius Final Fantasy, Hoshi no Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy Brave Exvius were described as successful. Square Enix of America and Europe CEO Phil Rogers released a statement. We have continued the efforts to create high-quality games which delight our customers. Solid starts for Just Cause 3 and Rise of the Tomb Raider, together with a number of awards and nomination we've seen for Lara Croft Go, Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward, shit, I had a boyfriend who played the shit out of that game, and Life is Strange, and the rest of our lineup give us confidence that our effort is working. Receiving numerous industry awards and securing more DICE nominations than any other content creator was a great way to cap off what was a successful quarter for Square Enix. That's weird because it almost sounds to me like Square Enix is doing A-OK, especially thanks to the PC. I mean, we already know that a third of Square Enix's console game revenue came from download sales, where there is a much higher profit margin, where you make a lot more money. There's much less overhead than selling packaged units and shipping them everywhere.
This does not translate
In fact, the Square Enix president, Yosuke Matsuda, sorry, I gotta say it right, Yosuke Matsuda, there we go, said, as we are trying to secure profit through utilizing stock of past titles, profitability of HD games must now also be considered over a certain time frame. It is not easy to recoup development costs solely by initial sales. However, download sales will allow us to increase profit in a long tail manner.
There's a good amount of bad apples that like free games on PC and that will refuse to support a $60 game.
Jay, Baby Doll, that's because we don't want to spend $300, $350, $250, whatever, buying a new console just for that game.
Or a $50 or $40 game. This has been proven numerous times,
as the graph and or link in the description clearly show us. Oh wait.
That's why the gaming industry doesn't want to give you games. Especially like Kingdom Hearts.
Everything that I just showed you a moment ago, every graph statistic quote nullifies what you say here. So, yeah, think about that.
Trust me.
No, trust my data.
It will never see the light of day on PC, and I know how mad that's gonna make you, and I understand.
Well, it won't really make anyone mad, but let's consider this. Disney will release games on Steam. Square Enix will release games for PC. They're making a lot of money doing it. We know that Kingdom Hearts 3 has swapped to the Unreal Engine 4, which is a very PC-friendly engine. I'm not saying it will come out to PC. I have no interest in the game myself, but I want as many people to enjoy what supposedly is a good game, or will be a good game, as possible, because, you know, I'm not anti-gamer, Jay. But couple that with the fact that Square Enix is making a metric shit ton of money from the PC, and Disney is as well, it does reason to believe that it's very likely that we could see Kingdom Hearts coming out on the PC soon.
Let's try.
I'm glad that I get to expose you guys for the beggars that you are.
That's definitely what I'm looking for.
Well, at least somebody's enjoying this. We're almost at an hour already, and I want to kind of start wrapping things up here. I've skipped a lot of his video, but I've linked it in the description, so before he deletes it, go ahead and watch it to see what you've missed.
Unfortunately, the third installment of Kingdom Hearts won't come to PC. I think it will be great on PC. I mean, look at The Last Remnant. Now, this guy basically confessed. He basically confirmed that he has already played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 on the PC via an emulator.
Wait, how do you figure that?
Because if not, he would have been bitching about not being able to play the whole series.
Or he played them on PlayStations, or he's not interested in the first two. You immediately jump to, well, he's emulated the first two. Ha, I know this because I reasons, I guess.
Meaning 1 and 2. But he clearly has played 1 and 2 on his preferred system, illegally.
Or he played them in the past on a PlayStation, or he hasn't played them at all. I mean, you go on and on about illegally. You realize that you've committed perjury against me, right? Like, do you know that? 3 times. You've committed perjury against me 3 times.
Without paying Disney their money or Square Enix their money.
Of course, if he bought a PlayStation 2 used and these games used, then Disney and Square Enix wouldn't have made money anyway.
He played it via emulator.
I mean, I don't see how that's proven, but...
A lot of PC fanboys have been commenting in the comments section bragging about some emulator that I already know can play PS2 titles. And of course, can play PS1 titles.
Products and services that are in no way making Sony or Disney any money at all?
There was only one idiot that tried to lie about playing a PS4 game on a PC with an emulator.
Yeah, Jay, I bet you used your astute detective knowledge and worked out he was lying.
Oh, but I hope you guys see this part of the video and expose yourself.
Jay, if I exposed myself to you, you would literally go into a envious state of shock. You would marvel at my natural endowment. You would cover your eyes in awe as it unfurls before you.
While you're at it, leave that fucking link.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's really difficult to delete comments if you don't leave them. Notice, however, that this tweet mentions The Last Remnant. The Last Remnant was released in 2008, right? So 8 years ago. It was released in April of 2009 on the PC. Now, by January 2016, the PC version of the game had sold over 800,000 copies, and it was regarded as the superior version because it's on, obviously, the superior platform. So it goes to show that The Last Remnant is still selling, right? It's still selling, it's still making the original developers money. This tweet calls out the success of The Last Remnant on the PC, and uses that as a reason to say, hey, Kingdom Hearts, let's go.
The only downside to selling my PS3 is the inability to play Kingdom Hearts. Sigh, if only it was on PC as well. No, this is a sad thing.
Sad that not everybody can enjoy what is potentially going to be an amazing game, because you love all gamers no matter what they play on, and you want them all to enjoy these experiences like you do.
It's never gonna be on PC, and you made a very, very horrible choice selling your PS3.
No, of course not. You got the... Oh. I thought you were going to say something pro-gamer there for a moment. Anyway, let's see how he wraps up his video.
Oh, there, black and white.
Oh, God, that's loud. How obnoxious. Well, at least that's the end of that.
Guess what?
Oh, dear Lord, that's even worse. I mean, that physically hurt my ears. You wonder why you only have 6,600 subscribers and 1,300 videos. Ugh, my ears physically hurt from that. Oh my God. Ow. Jay, oh, what a horrible person does that. I didn't mess with the audio. That's how loud it is compared to everything else you had. Ah. Well, I think that's enough. I think that's just about enough talking about JTech TV. I'm going to be gone for quite a while. I'm going to Las Vegas to the Grand Canyon. It's going to be great. I'm going to take a little vacation of mine. Wanted to leave you guys with something long. Now, Jay, if you've made it this far, which I highly doubt you have, but if you've made it this far, I want you to know that if you attempt to take down this video, then you will be committing perjury because you'll be abusing copyright law and malafides because you know, because you filed 3 against me so far and I've won every single one, you know that these are fair use. You know that you can't just go around abusing the law. So, now keep in mind also, YouTube terms of service stipulate that abusing copyright takedowns could result in the termination of your account. And not even I want that. I don't want anybody's account taken down. Well, ISIS, but you're not quite that bad. Just a fair warning to you, Jay. A fair warning to you. You can't just take this video down. That's perjury. That's a no-no. That's against the law. Anyway, here's some footage I didn't use. So you have, let's go to his video here and I'll illustrate just what I'm saying. It's really obvious. It's really obvious. And he's known for doing this. This is what you have to do if you are, you know, if you're a channel like JTech TV, if you have to live in an echo chamber, right? You go to the comments and you can see it says 811 comments, right? Now, this guy rags at 2,000 likes. Of course, they're talking about me a lot. Why hate rags, bro? Why hate rags, bro? Well, Tyler Fisher that he's referring to, his comment's gone. It doesn't exist. It's been deleted. I can't even see JTech TV's comments. I can't see his comments. I don't know if he found a way to block me from seeing them, or if he's done something else. I don't know. I don't know too much about YouTube. This is just a spare hobby of mine. I don't know how he's done it or what he's done, but he has somehow blocked me from being able to see his comments. He's not on my block list. I hate that fag rags. he only blew up because he talked about the most oversaturated topic ever. Haha, feminist sucks. Give me subs. Well, I never have once said actually subscribe to me or like my videos. Haven't said it once. But obviously someone here in between, right here in between, someone is defending me. You know who you are. Thank you much. But your comment has been deleted by JTech TV. We know this because Colby Barlow is saying, shut up, Rags Dick Rider. First off, Daddy, Brian, with 8 videos and 8 subs. At least someone wants to ride my dick. Now, Giacomo Snaker. My only point is that he blew up because he made a video on feminists. Oh, by the way, if it's the most oversaturated topic, and I blew up because of it, that means my content was exceptionally good because it rose above the rest. So, thanks for that. Daddy Bright, you're so stupid that you don't understand you're giving me extra compliments. So, Colby Barlow, he supports me. He's been deleted. Giacomo Snaker, he's either supporting me or offering a neutral comment. He's been deleted. Random name, he clearly disagrees with Daddy Brian. He's been deleted. You see, again, JTech TV, his comments have been deleted. His comments just, I can't see them. But this is what that's what his comment section is. Oh shit, Jay calling out that fag Rags. Simple yet savage. I like it, bro. Again, JTech has hidden his comment from me. He doesn't want me to see what the things he says. The Voice of Reason. So there's someone here called the Voice of Reason who has been, again, a Rags Dick Rider. Again, people want to ride my cock because it's big, and I will show you the time of your life. Oh, look, a Rags Dick Rider. You must be lost and confused if you think your opinion matters here. Again, Voice of Reason. He's been deleted. He's been deleted from this conversation. That's why it's just one guy talking to people. Talking to ghosts. That's what his comment section is. And that's what, Rags really isn't, though. I think that JTech TV must be salty that he can't even do a direct argument with Rags and instead must file false copyright claims to avoid engaging in said argument. Oh, I guess I've already been here. Look, man, if you can't even bother to see that Rags is super biased and you just purposefully have major blinders on, there's not even a point in discussing exactly. Call Rags biased because he provides reasons why he thinks what he is, and say there's not even a point in having a discussion. Giacomo Snaker, another guy who has been deleted. It's just Mr. Quarantine, some nobody, arguing with ghosts because they have been deleted. So that's what the comment section is of his videos. I don't even bother making a comment, really. He's just gonna go back and delete them. The only comments against him are the ones he hasn't seen yet, or the ones he hasn't gotten around to. It's really depressing, but it's an excellent display of the differences between him and me. On November the 18th of 2015, just a couple months ago, a YouTuber by the name of Cyrus Martin made a video called PC Gaming Sucks, Needs to Be Said, or something of the like. And during the video, he gave his reasons why he thinks PC Gaming sucks. And then I made a response to that, showing where he was wrong and that he didn't know what he was talking about. Well, he made a response to my response, and so I'm going to nip this in the bud here. This is my response to his response of my response, and I'm probably going to call it there, because I don't think after this video much will be needed to be said. Do forgive my voice, though. I'm riding out the tail end of a nasty little bug, so my throat's a little sore. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and start this little adventure.
Hey guys, it's Cy.
Hello, Cy.
So, you probably clicked on this video and you probably have an idea of what you're about to experience, but
That is true, but not in the good way.
let me just indulge me for a minute. Today, well, it'll be tomorrow when this video posts, is Friend Day or Friends Day. It's a day we celebrate friendship, making new friends. And making new friends is very important.
I'll leave a link in the description to the point when he actually starts talking about the video I made.
I made one last week and I didn't even know it until today. Friend Day. I think it's tragic that we don't make more friends because they're valuable. And they're often a rare resource for us to utilize. We take them for granted when times are good and lean on them when times are hard. And we should all take the time to appreciate our friends, both old and new, and let them know just what they mean to us.
Yep, that link in the description is it's down there.
And that's why I'm doing this video. Because that's what friends are for. She's dead now, but Whitney Houston had a good point with that one. You see, last week, I'm not sure what day exactly,
That would be a Thursday.
a young guy found an old video I made back in ancient and legendary November.
I don't know if you're trying to be sarcastic here. In the event that you are not, then I'm going to let you know that a 2-month-old video of this nature is not at all old, and it is certainly not outdated.
It was entitled PC Gaming Sucks.
I can hear all the clicks from here.
The point of this video was to vocalize some of my frustrations with PC gaming. Not necessarily to state that all forms of gaming on the PC suck, but or that the concept of gaming on the PC sucks.
I made a video called Grass is Blue. Now, I'm not saying that all grass is blue, and I'm not saying everything about that grass is necessarily blue. All I'm saying is the title is Grass is Blue.
I was frustrated with some new game releases because it was November.
And I can assure you, you are not alone in that.
A lot of them had bugs and whatnot, wouldn't run correctly, things like that. So I did this video, and actually I did do a video immediately afterwards, or the next day, called Console Gaming Sucks. That video kind of tried to give the same treatment to consoles. It was tongue-in-cheek, you know, but
I don't know what talking shake means, but here's one.
Lou kind of put me up to it, so
Fine.
I was like, all right, let me go ahead and be fair here.
And God bless you, Lou.
Because I don't believe PC gaming sucks, like completely, like it's worthless and horrible. That's not what my video was about.
I mean, just because the title is Grass is Blue, I mean, I wasn't really trying to say that, you know, grass is blue.
But we'll get to that. And I don't think that console gaming sucks either.
I do. That's why I don't do it anymore.
To be completely honest, I worded it in such a way that was provocative.
Provocative? No.
And for that, I'm willing to concede that I deserved a little smack in the face. So I appreciate that.
Well, keep your doctor's number handy, because with this video, you're going to have an erection that lasts way longer than 4 hours.
This new friend of mine,
No, don't say, no.
goes by the name of Rags.
God damn.
So that's like his internet name or whatever. I don't know what his real name is. I don't really care. Rags found this video at some point. I don't know if somebody told him about it or forwarded it to him, or if he was just searching YouTube or whatever.
I was searching YouTube for low-hanging fruit.
I am not a big YouTuber, so I'm kind of surprised
Well, I mean, in a manner of speaking.
that somebody like Rags found my video, but he did.
Somebody like me? You mean like white people?
He found my video. And he took some issue with some very specific parts of it.
Well, it wasn't just the specifics. I mean, the general idea was wrong too.
I know that it was specific parts of it because he literally stopped the video, and I did use the word literally there. Every 10 to 15 seconds, he would stop the video so he could refute some point that I had made or interject
That's
one of his own
kinda how
ideas or opinions.
Arguments work.
And I was like, at the time when this happened, Mr. Rags didn't he didn't respond to me with a video of himself. He responded to me with his voice.
Well, I was going to type it all out and send you an email, but my fingers were tired from furiously masturbating that day. So I just decided to record myself talking instead.
And a picture of like a dog with sunglasses on or something?
What do you mean a picture like a dog with sunglasses on or something? I don't see how this could be up for interpretation or how it could confuse you. It is a dog. There are some sunglasses on the dog. I use this picture of a dog wearing the sunglasses when I speak for a number of reasons. The dog in the sunglasses will always look exactly as it is right now. No matter what time of day it is, no matter what the lighting is, no matter what I have behind me, no matter what I'm wearing, no matter what at all, this image will look the same. It creates a look of familiarity because it is repeated. The same reason why my icons have been the same kind of dog with sunglasses on. When I want to record a video, I don't have to worry about wearing this or wearing that. I don't have to worry about making sure it's bright enough in the room or that it just looks okay or looks acceptable to me. I don't have to worry about any of that. And what's even more important than the way it looks is just the way that it sounds. When you're talking into a microphone and you move your head around, the sound will be different. When you are recording yourself talking and want to edit, you are not just editing audio, you are also editing the video along with it. So if you want to go back and change a sentence, if you want to go back and change a word or rephrase yourself, then there will be a jump in the footage that people see. And while it doesn't matter, it doesn't look good. I would rather just have the simplicity of having an image and then having me talk over that image. It removes a whole aspect and element of possible incongruity to a video. I can come back later and add something or change something and you wouldn't be able to know. That's not meant to be sneaky. It's meant so that I can create a video and edit it without it being jarring or physically noticeable. For instance, when I rewatch my video before I upload it and I realize I want to clarify or rephrase something, I can do that without all of a sudden having my clothing and the time of day and the lighting and everything in the background change for just one sentence. And if you haven't noticed, I'm not exactly the only person on YouTube who does this. Teal Deer, for instance, or Sargon of Akkad, YourMovieSucks.org, even Bearing. I don't know why you would even bring it up. Are you trying to say that I'm hiding my face? I've clearly shown it before. I don't think I'm bad looking. And as you watch this video, I want you to realize that Sai did this all in one take. The camera was watching him the whole time. So if one wanted to avoid stuttering, as Cyrus probably would want to, which is why he did a 37-minute video in a single take, he could not stop, he could not pause, he could not go back and edit. He had to get everything he wanted to say the way he wanted to say it and have everything be done perfectly for his own tastes the first time through. I do not have that problem, and it is a load off my mind.
But this is Mr. Rags, and Mr. Rags is a little kid. Well, he's a grown man, I guess. I don't want to be like derogatory.
He's a little kid, but I don't want to be derogatory. Though I suppose I should be thankful that you didn't use a completely unflattering image. I'm certain you could have gone frame by frame through every second of footage that has my face in it and found an image that makes me look silly, where my lip is askew, or where my eyelids don't quite match up, or where I generally look very silly. Maybe you're just returning the favor that I showed to you.
He's probably, what, 20-ish? 21, maybe?
24.
I don't know. But we'll get to that. So Mr. Rags didn't like what I said in my video.
Wasn't just me.
I'm trying not to be an ass about this because it is funny to me, but let me get through what I'm doing. So he stopped my video every 10 to 15 seconds to refute a piece of it or interject some of his own ideas or opinions.
Gee, it's almost like that was the point of the video.
Sometimes he would stop my video after just 1 or 2 words.
To double check, I went back into my video, and I counted the number of times I did interject after you spoke 1 or 2 words. There were 3 instances of this. Maybe I missed one, but there were 3 that I found. The first one was when you said at the beginning, PC gaming sucks, and I said I was way off because I was making a joke. The second time was when you said, you know, and then I said, no, we really don't know, because I was poking fun at how much you said, you know. The last time was when you said bye, and I said ciao. And there were a lot of places where I interjected after you said 4 words. But I don't know why you're bringing this up. Who cares how many words it was? Just because a sentence is short doesn't mean it can't mean anything. Short sentences can be very powerful. Kill all Muslims. I hate niggers. Konami is
Holy
awesome.
hell, that was...
3 of some of the worst sentences
never
you
mind,
could
I
ever
shouldn't worry,
say
it's
in
fine.
the language. And those are only 3 words. What does sentence length have to do with anything?
I've seen that done in replies on message boards before, but that was actually the first time I've ever seen somebody do that in a video.
Well, there's a first time for everything. Though I do find that hard to believe you've never seen that done before.
So it's kind of a funny way to respond to somebody. We don't speak like in a conversation, whether it's like a in-person conversation or Skype or on the radio where you're doing an interview or whatever. Conversations don't happen in pieces of sentences.
Yes, they do. They do all the time. People use slang and idiom and jargon all the time, and those are not complete sentences. You don't have to have a complete sentence to communicate a thought or to communicate an idea. If you were standing next to me on the sidewalk and asked me, "Rain soon?" I would know what you meant and I could answer you. And if I haven't seen you in a while, I could say, "Long time no see." But I don't want to get English is not my thing. I'm not gonna, no. And this whole idea revolves around the concept that what you and I are doing is having a conversation, and we are not. We are not having a conversation. I am creating a type of reply using video as a media, and you are doing the same, and then I'm doing the same again. This is not how people communicate face to face on radio or in a discussion. We are not having a conversation here. So the whole point is, well, moot.
Like when you respond to a piece of somebody's sentence, you're missing the point of what they're saying. You're responding to a piece of what they said because you feel you can make your point better that way, and that's fine.
It's clearly not fine because you're making such a big deal out of this when it should be a non-issue. I will respond and interject to things that you say at my own leisure and nobody else's. Deal with it.
It's been done like that on the internet forever, so whatever. But yeah, it's not really responding to me. It's responding to what you want to respond to, but that's fine.
The level of nitpick here is ridiculous. I can be petty, but this is on a whole nother level. Of course I'm going to respond to what I want to respond to. It's my video. It's my video response. Your video was the blueprint that I used in order to make my response because it puts everything that I say into context. When you say something and it is immediately followed by my thoughts on what you have just said, it will not allow for any amount of misinterpretation as to what I was replying to. This is why Sargon of Akkad and Thunderfoot and Teal Deer and all those other YouTube debaters and commentators, that's why they do this exact same thing that you apparently have never seen before. It's simple, it's efficient, and it can be enjoyed in audio format alone. You don't have to constantly reference, oh, well, at such and such he said this, and at such and such he said this, so my response to A is this, and my response to B is this. It doesn't allow for any paraphrasing or taking anything out of context. It is simple, it is to the point, and this format here is the closest thing that you will actually get to hearing a conversation that isn't actually a live conversation with two people actually having a discussion back and forth live.
Pick and choose how you want to do it. It's your video. All right, so Mr. Rags, and my reaction, my initial reaction when I found out that this happened, like I said, this happened a week ago, and I didn't realize it because this video's from November.
When I made my video, yours was just over 2 months old. I no longer believe that you were sarcastic the first time you mentioned it, but I have responded to videos far older than yours, and unless you have changed your stance or your position on the issue, it is still just as valid as if it was made yesterday. If you are attempting to put the idea into our heads that my video is invalid or in any way lesser in its content because it is responding to a video that is 2 months old, then you're foolish for doing so.
This video's like been on the internet. I've done what, maybe 30 something, 40 something videos since then. I really don't know how many. You can go count. I'm sure he will.
I absolutely will not. 103.
I don't know how many videos I've done, but this particular video, like I said, was from November, which, like I said, is ancient internet time.
Has it expired? Has it gone bad? This is not milk left out on the countertop. This is a video on the internet. And if we want to talk about the expiration of these videos, a lot of things can be valid after years and years and years. For instance, somebody reviews an object, perhaps a computer component, a rifle, heck, a video game. Just because that is an old review does not mean that it is invalid. And again, I want to ask, are you trying to say that my video is in any way less valid for what it is because of the date of your video? It is not ancient, it is not archaic, I would not even consider it old. Not at all. It's 2 months old. It was only 2 months old.
So my reaction when I found out about this, I noticed that there was a lot more traffic on that video because I do look at the statistics and stuff because I'm curious. Not because I make money, because none of my videos are monetized.
Nor mine.
That's not why. I'm just curious to see which ones people are more interested in. So I did notice that it had more traffic. And I did notice there were a lot of comments that had been added.
When you have a video called PC Gaming Sucks and it is full of lies and misrepresentations about PC gaming, people might have some things to say.
Most of which were very, I would say, negative.
I can't imagine why.
Which I love negative comments, but whatever. So I didn't really think too much about it, like, until today. I was looking at the comments and I had seen this word rags on there, and I had seen it like a few days ago, and I was like, what is that? What is that, a reference to something I don't know about? I'm an old man, so I don't know all the new, like, maybe there's some reference that I don't know about. But yeah, it was actually this dude's internet name, and somebody posted a link to his video of my video.
God bless you, mysterious stranger.
A response video to my video, which is what this is all about. So he responded to my video from November with a new video.
From November, that's 2 months. It's ancient. I had to wipe the dust off of it. It was getting wrinkles. It was so old. I can't believe I looked that young back then.
Last week. And my initial reaction was I laughed. Don't misunderstand me.
Why would we ever worry about misunderstanding you? PC Gaming Sucks. I mean, not everything about PC gaming sucks, and not all things about PC gaming sucks, and PC gaming doesn't suck, but PC gaming sucks.
I'm really not trying to be an asshole about this. I am not trying to say, what it do? You know, I'm not like doing that.
No, we know. That comes later in the video.
Because I actually like this kid. This young man.
I like him so much, I've called him a kid twice.
I think he has a talent for debate. When all this kind of happened and everything, I went and watched some of his videos to try to figure out what was going on here. And apparently he does this a lot. This is something he just does. He goes and looks for YouTubers to pick fights with.
I do not do it to pick fights.
So he goes and posts something or responds to what they do and picks it apart piece by piece and then gets into like this thing with them. This is something he does.
Yeah, I just do it. It just happens. It's just something that I do. I'm not even aware of it. I'll wake up in the middle of the night hot and sweaty and it turns out I've uploaded another video.
I'm new to this. I'm not a debater on the internet, so
Oh no, don't worry. We know. We know.
You know, whatever. But I like the kid. I think he's actually really talented.
I really like this guy. I've just called him a kid 3 times.
And I think he made some really good points because he's defending PC gaming. And PC gaming is, I mean, it has problems, right? Which is what the point of my video was to complain, I guess.
The point wasn't PC gaming sucks, which is what the title was.
About the things that were aggravating me about PC gaming. Which, using the term sucks, I think, accomplished my goal, which was to catch your eye.
So you say that you use the word sucks to get our
Okay,
attention,
so-
to get us to click on the video and watch it. And then you say that that's not really what you say in the video. So basically you're just admitting here that you used the title for the sole purpose of clickbait, in that it's not representative of what the video really says. Good job, Cyrus. I believe you when you say you're not a debater on the internet.
It did. I hate to use the word clickbait, but
I hate to use the word clickbait, but I mean, it's, you know, exactly what it was.
because I'm not making money, I'm not one of those kind of people. But I was curious to see what kind of reaction that would get. And here's a reaction. So, touche, my friend, that you took offense to what I was saying. That's fine.
Let me be clear. What you said did not offend me. I don't get offended. Offense is not given. Offense is taken. So even though I'm a young kid, do not think for a second that anything that you could possibly say could offend me. Because I'm not going to give you nor anybody else that power.
Now, the points of what I was saying,
Functioning completely independent of the video title, of course.
I'm not going to debate you.
That is a very, very wise decision, Cyrus.
Because I don't even know who you are.
You don't have to know who I am to debate me. You don't have to know who anyone is to debate them. You debate the ideas. I make fun of people when I debate them or when I make fun of their videos because I do that in tandem with the debate itself. I don't rely on attacking a person. But you say yourself you've watched my videos. What else do you need to know? Everything is right there. Everything that you could use or reference or refer to in a debate with me has already been said from my mouth itself. Everything that you need is right there, Cyrus. The only thing stopping you is you. And probably the fact that I just couldn't be bothered based on this video.
And anyway, let me get through this, and then I'll give you what I think. But let's get through this. All right, so he stopped my video every couple seconds and responded to some little piece, whatever, blah 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 blah. And my initial reaction was that I laughed out loud, and
I don't know if anything that you've said thus far has been worthy of a summary, but go for it, I guess.
To the point of having to catch my breath, which was really hard since I'm
Say it.
a great big fat person, which he really loves to. I don't know if he thinks that's going to bother me, him saying that. I mean,
I don't care what bothers you.
once you get past the age of like 15 or 16, I'm not sure that people, when you when you say things like that to somebody, it's like at some point insulting somebody like that is like,
Alright, remember earlier on in this video when I said one of the advantages of using an image that you can speak over instead of a live recording was the fact that you can edit it and that you didn't have to do it live, which would inevitably lead to these long drawn out sentences that stop and go, you know, like, it's like, you know, well, ha ha ha, nervous laughter. You make fun of me for interjecting, and then in videos like this, you can't formulate complete thoughts with complete ideas. The sentence starts in one way and it stops, and then another idea takes over. Where will it end? Who knows?
it's funny. For one thing, I like fat jokes anyway, so it's funny.
I like it, but I'll chastise him for doing it.
And I appreciated some of his jokes. But it's beneath you.
No, it's not.
Anyway, let's move on. So since I'm a great big fat person, I had to catch my breath, which is really difficult being a great big fat person.
I see you're a member of the Seth MacFarlane School of Comedy. If you beat someone in the head enough with a joke, maybe they'll start finding it funny.
And the breathing and the laughing and the oi. Anyway, after I had a
Okay, that was funny.
good laugh about it, I found myself feeling flattered that this much effort was done to create a video response to something I'd thrown together months ago. By the way, I wrote a bunch of this down because
I chose in my infinite wisdom to make a 37-minute video entirely live where I cannot edit it, I can't go back and change things, rephrase, paraphrase, or pause to reference any source material that I have collected and saved. Sad panda.
well, a lot of times when I do videos, I can't think of everything I really want to say, and I wanted to make sure I paid extra attention to this. I figured this guy deserved the effort for what he did, and I figured let me put some effort into. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so
Before we continue with the rest of the video, I'd like to say hello and welcome to those who have jumped in and are now joining us by way of the link in the description. We've been having a blast so far, and we're very glad you could join us.
I was flattered that he went to that much effort to create a video response to something I'd thrown together months ago and had not really even put a whole lot of thought into it at all.
We can tell.
That's pretty flattering. I think I even blushed. Imagine that right now. Imagine under my scraggly facial hair that I'm blushing.
Okay.
My head basically looked like a giant tomato.
I am laughing. Please.
A big fat tomato.
Just cut
An old
to the
fat
chase.
tomato.
I get it.
I gave that some thought and considered how this may play out.
It's like you're reading from your autobiography. It's like you're referencing yourself referencing me. You have created a middleman, and that middleman is you. Why? Oh yeah, because you wanted to do this live and in one single take.
Oh, let me back up for a second. After I was done coughing and wheezing and staring at myself in the mirror looking for signs of a stroke.
Look, nothing that I said was that funny, Cyrus. Let's not blow things out of proportion.
I started
here.
telling myself how awesome I was. And I decided that it might be fun to do a response video to my response video. I thought inside my giant fat head that this sounded amusing, and it might give me an opportunity to correct some of the misunderstandings that I was having with Mr. Rags.
The misunderstandings that I have admitted that I created of my own free will because I said that I put the word sucks in there as clickbait. I want to set my house on fire and be the one who tries to put it out.
And to better explain my intent and or positions. So I gave that some thought, and I considered how this all might play out.
Rags fodder.
What if Mr. Rags felt the need to do yet another response video? to my response video of his response video. This could go on forever. The two of us just endlessly putting out videos in response to each other's videos and never really resolving anything.
Well, you'd probably like it because you might actually get some views on these videos.
This could create a singularity of response videos, causing some sort of dimensional vortex, or insert Doc Brown's
I'm not laughing. Stop
ism
laughing.
here, cataclysm, and break the internet, and nobody wants that, right? So I had yet another idea. And I apologize in advance if
Here
Mr.
we
Rags
go.
thinks that I am
I'm-
preemptively stealing this idea from him.
I'm gonna die.
But I think this is a good compromise that will resolve some of the situation and leave everyone feeling as though they had a chance to say their piece and then let the issue die down. My idea is simple, and I call it Responception.
yeah, I'm gonna shoot myself. Right
Possessing the notion that I would have even considered this at all is kind of insulting.
Echo, echo. Imagine there's echo. I'm not going to add echo, just imagine there's echo. I don't care enough about this to do any real production.
But I care enough to spare everybody the horror of having to listen to him talk about responception. So let's just bypass that bit.
It's important for me to be upfront about some stuff. I don't want to pretend to be something I'm not or anything. Having said that, I should also state that I will be playing the part of myself as well as that of Mr. Rags. So I will immediately
here we
break
go.
my promise, and I will pretend to be someone I'm not.
Well, you know what? I'm totally down for this. I mean, in this video, you've been complaining that I'm not representing your ideas fairly and that I'm not getting the right understanding that you're trying to put out. So I'm certain that since you put such a heavy emphasis on that, you will do nothing but portray me in the best and most fair light possible.
I will try to do him a kindness with this portrayal and be as accurate as possible. It will be difficult for me as I am far, far older and fatter, of course, and less informed and capable.
Let's just make fat jokes.
Beating us on the head with it.
I will stumble through this somehow,
Well, you've made it this far.
and we'll see how it goes.
Keep going. Yeah.
I will also be playing the part of my response to him and then also his response to me, and so on and so on and so on. So just to clear that up. The timeline may get confusing. Just hang in there with me. We will all have to really try here to care enough to pay attention, enough to stay awake during this exercise of utterly pointlessness and juvenile behavior. But
Yeah, mumble under your voice.
as I was saying, expect this responception to be
Dude,
strange
oh
and
my
confusing.
God. Cut to the
I am
chase.
aware of the risks, but I'm still willing to do it anyway. So prepare yourself for something unlike anything you've ever experienced on the internet before, or at least that I am aware of at this moment, having done no research to investigate that claim, and have no plans to do so ever, even after I'm proven wrong by another video at a later date. That may or may not happen. Also, I should note that
Get on with it.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
I am doing Mr. Rag's voice because while I would not submit a copyright violation for his use of my video,
Wait, are you actually saying that you could have my video taken down because of a copyright violation? Are you being serious? You can't be. You can't be serious. You're just joking. It's a good one. I don't think he's joking.
I don't trust that he would return the gesture. I'm not saying that he is known for doing that. Okay? Or that I suspect that he has any plan to do so, but it's just more fun.
Now, Cyrus, I may be just a young kid and all, but let me give you some advice, because after all, it is not through age but through capacity in which wisdom is gained. First, you say that you could, if you so desired, take down my video because of a copyright violation because, I don't know, you just think that that's how it works. And, you know, that might be construed as a threat to some. Some people might treat that like a threat. But you say you're going to take my video down if you want to because you can claim that it's a copyright violation, which shows that you don't know shit. So when you do say that you are not as informed as I am, then you were not talking in jest. Truly, you meant it. You say you could do it if you wanted to. You say I would do it if I wanted to. And then you try to pull it off as you being magnanimous. Look at me, everybody. I'm the bigger man. I mean, I don't know shit about copyright laws or fair use or him using my footage, and I'm not going to use any of his, and I'm not going to even give him the benefit of the doubt that he wouldn't make one of these false allegations against me. But oh, look at how mature I'm handling it all. Look at how subtle I'll be. Aren't I great? Aren't I just the better man? Please, Cyrus. I want you to try and take down my video for a copyright violation. I want you to try. I just think it would be an educational, hands-on experience of just how the rules work out in that big, big wide world. You know, just for fun.
So now on with Responception.
Alright.
There we go. So let me make my points in response to his response of my video, and then we'll have him respond also at some point, somehow.
Before we delve into the next chapter of this colorful video, I want you to recall who called who the young kid.
All right. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Just to clarify, to start off. All right, wait. Let me do this. Starting over. Hi, everybody. This is Side's response video to Mr. Rags' response video of my video. Mr. Rags will be interjecting in this video. Is that correct, Mr. Rags? Yes, I will be doing that.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I know
That's
it's not a very good
something.
impersonation. It's the best I could do.
No, you shouldn't have. Like you really shouldn't have.
Let me clarify a few things. One thing that I was criticized about, which is a fair criticism, I completely agree with this, is I didn't give the specs of my PC in my video.
What?
So my video, my
That's
PC,
that's a criticism.
it's one that I built, and I'm not very good at building. I'm sure there's a lot of people more talented, including Mr. Rags.
Well, maybe not. I'm not a computer guy. I put mine together, but that's just from watching a single Linus Tech Tips video. It's really kind of simple. It doesn't make you smart for being able to do it, and it doesn't make you super special. Like anyone can do it. It's not difficult. In fact, that's one of the points.
But my PC is AMD FX 6350 6-core processor. I got it overclocked to 4.1 gigahertz. It has a NVIDIA GTX 770 with 2 gig of RAM, 12 gigabyte of 1600 speed DDR3, and I'm using Windows 10. And I post these specs
Because they might be considered relevant by a lot of people?
I don't like to do it on every video, and that's my fault.
I never asked you to do it on every video. Not every video. No one's asking you to do it on every video. It's just when you bring it up in a PC discussion, it is worthy of detailing.
My bad. But I thought it was kind of like, I see people constantly talking about their specs on their computers, and I think it's really annoying. Like,
If it annoys you, then don't pay it any attention. The place where most people list their specs is on tech websites and for discussions on forums about computer hardware and software problems like Tom's Hardware and all that. In fact, a lot of people will make it their signature. Even on the DayZ website that I frequent, a lot of people have their computer specs as their signature. And people don't do this to brag. especially when you go to tech help websites. Having this information easily accessible, having your specs right there in front of people when you try to ask questions or answer questions, people know what you're coming from. People know what you've got. So if a game isn't working correctly with an AMD processor, and your signature says you have an AMD processor, then people will be like, oh, right away, I can tell that you might be having a problem because of this. If someone asks, hey, my frame rate's really low in this game at these settings, and I don't know why, and people see right there their specs are listed, yeah, you should be getting higher frame rates with that 780 Ti, so we know how to instantly start. I mean, there's a reason for it. And a lot of the times these signatures are at 770s, 780s, 960s, 970s. Certainly nothing worth bragging over.
Nobody cares about your specs on your computer.
If you don't care, then how come you're bringing it up? Ignore it. It does not have the capacity to affect you in any way.
Nobody. So whenever I mention my own specs, I feel really like I had this feeling of like self-consciousness. Like, what am I doing? Is this a douche move? Like, so I don't ever talk about my specs.
I'm pretty certain that the technological proletariat isn't really going to get up in arms about your 770.
My fault. So that's my specs. Okay. Also, I want to get something else out of the way. Rags, or Mr. Rags, excuse me, I want to be proper. You owe me half of the hits that you've gotten on your videos.
You know, I want to say that obviously this is a joke, but the things that you've been joking about in the past, it turns out you actually, like, meant them. So, I really don't know how to take this.
And in return, I'm going to give you, I will concede to you half of the hits that I get for this video. However we do that exchange, I don't know how that works. We'll have to talk to YouTube about it.
Sure, and maybe during that conversation, we can both explain to you what fair use is.
Not sure it's really possible, but half of your hits are mine, and vice versa. But you have way more subscribers than me.
Can't imagine why.
And I don't have hardly any, so it sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Anyway. Okay, so one thing I want to just say also, let me just get into this. I believe PC gaming can be a frustrating and expensive experience.
Pretty much everything could be a frustrating or expensive experience. If you want it to be, or if you're incapable of exercising better judgment, or if you're ignorant of something. And it's not just hobbies that could be frustrating and expensive, unnecessarily so. Everything from automobiles to healthcare to home repair to frisbee golf to video games to computers to what you pay for your internet to everything. Everything could be expensive and frustrating. Pretty much everything has the capacity to become frustrating or expensive. So saying that PC gaming can be frustrating and expensive, yeah, it can be. So can everything else. People from Idaho can be murderers. I mean, that's true. Most of them aren't, but an Idahoan has the capacity to be a murderer. So I didn't say anything untrue.
That's because you don't know what you're doing. You think it's frustrating and expensive because you don't know what you're doing. I know way more about computers than you. You're embarrassing to me.
Well, I mean, that part's not all that off.
Why do I have this accent? Why am I talking like this? Is it because I'm wearing a New York hat? I'm not from New York. I think I'm from like somewhere like Virginia or something.
Yeah, Arkansas, actually. It's a state. You don't hear much from us. It's probably for the best.
But I'm wearing a New York hat.
Yeah, why am I not rooting for Arkansas's Major League Baseball? Oh.
I think I've developed a New York accent for some reason. It's also because I probably had my chin kind of reminds Si of Peter from
Oh my God, get it.
The hell's the name of that damn show? The cartoon.
It's not
Family Guy. That's right, Family Guy.
Professional.
Yeah, I look like a young Peter from Family Guy. when I'm old, I'm gonna be fat just like Psy, because I eat all the chicken. I know all about the chicken because I mentioned the buckets of chicken in my video there.
If this is painful for you to listen to, then just imagine how I felt.
Okay, what was I talking about? Let's continue with Psy's video and I'll respond. Okay, so
I think fuck.
what was I saying? Oh yeah, so you know, PC gaming can be frustrating and expensive because
Yes, as can everything.
you spend a lot of money. You pour a lot of money into building a rig, and then your hardware becomes obsolete. I know that, you know, young people probably don't have as much experience with PC building, but there's been several format changes that have happened in the past, you know, 15 years. You know, we've gone through AGP, PCI Express, PCI Express 16. You know, the cards have changed. The pin configurations and RAM. I mean,
I know what you mean. That pesky RAM.
nothing's compatible. You know, of just a couple years ago.
Bullshit. Back in April of 2014. Yeah, now if you think 2 months old is ancient, then Lord knows what you think that is. That's downright prehistoric. I purchased a Corsair RM Series 850 watt power supply unit, Western Digital 1TB SATA 3 7200 RPM hard drive, Asus Maximus 6 Hero DDR3 motherboard, Samsung 840 EVO 250GB SSD, an Intel Core i7 4770K quad-core desktop processor. The case was a Corsair Obsidian Series 750D Performance full tower case. Love it. And 8GB G.Skill DDR3 PC3 2400 MHz Trident X Series dual channel RAM. The graphics card that I bought was an EVGA GeForce GTX 780 Ti. Classified. Man, that thing could overclock like no one's business. Now, of all those parts that I bought in April of 2014, the only parts that I have changed are the power supply unit, and I actually just changed that out a couple weeks ago because I went SLI 980 Ti's, the Amp Extreme ones from Zotac. I changed out, let me see, that is, just that and the graphics card is all that I've changed out. And the only reason I changed out the power supply unit is because I changed the graphics card to the dual 980 Ti's. And during all this time, during all that I've done, I was never in a position where I felt like I had to upgrade. Never. Not once. Absolutely not. I could still be rocking that 780 Ti classified to this day if I wished. But instead, I decided just to upgrade because I just wanted to have my games perform even better. And I don't regret that decision up to this day. No, I'm glad I did. All of those changes were optional. All those upgrades were completely optional. I could still be using the same stuff to this day with no problem. And my new stuff runs with the old stuff just fine. With the 980 Ti's, again, with the PSU, the supply unit, I just wanted to give it just a higher quality one, you know, just in case. So when you say that stuff from 2 years ago becomes incompatible with stuff now and that it just won't work and that you have to upgrade, that's an outright lie. And either you're speaking out of malice or ignorance. I would prefer to think that it's ignorance. I mean, the proof is sitting right next to me. Literally right next to me is the proof that what you're saying is wrong. So you can't say stuff like this and really expect people to take you seriously on the matter, because saying that is just outright wrong.
You gotta, you know, it's all new stuff now, and it just keeps changing like that. And here we go again. We're changing from DDR3 to DDR4. And
oh no, whatever shall I do? Oh yeah, that's right. Nothing. I mean, we're talking about PC gaming, so, I mean, you should know that DDR4 memory is not at all going to give you performance increases in gaming. I mean, maybe it would if you were doing stuff like high computing or high performance programs for industry or robotics. And if you don't believe me, you can go to this video here where Linus, who is looking straight up thugalicious, explains just why, for PC gaming purposes, DDR4 memory will not give you any real bonuses, and it's certainly not necessary. So, you know, educate yourself, then run your mouth.
And on and on and on, the changes happen. So if you PC game for any length of time, you're going to spend a lot of money, a lot more than a lot of people think. A lot more than is probably publicized because
it's not necessarily true at all?
Of these format changes. So, well, I wouldn't know about that because I'm not old and fat.
That's really hard.
Remember, I'm the young kid.
All right, anyway.
Damn,
So moving on. By the way, excellent points. Excellent points.
Again, with you, I can't tell if it's sarcasm or not, but in the event it's not, the feeling is not mutual.
Okay, so I would also mention that I'm actually kind of jealous of people that have really good gaming rigs because I'm scared to run water cooling.
Don't be jealous. It doesn't make you a better person. It's just a fancier toy. Also, water cooling is not necessary for you to have a really good computer. As I said before, I've got dual Zotac 980 Ti Amp Extremes, and I'm using air cooling for them. Water cooling is not necessary to have a super good computer.
And SLI, I don't know where to even begin with SLI, so...
Then look it up. You have an internet connection, there's no excuse for you not knowing how to do things. I mean, you're talking about computers, and you don't know where to start on SLI. I mean, one Google search, and it'll tell you how to do it. I mean, it takes upwards of 10 minutes. 15 if you're really stumped. I mean, come on. You've got the whole internet at your fingertips here. Take advantage of the, resources at your disposal here. Learn something.
Yeah, I give you a lot of credit if you're willing to do that.
I think if you knew how easy it was, you wouldn't be so quick to start handing out credit to everybody.
I mean, it's expensive. I don't know how much a benefit you really get. You know, all the breakdowns that I've seen say that it doesn't really make much sense to do SLI unless if you're buying a new video card, they say put more money in one video card than having two video cards. They say, it just makes more sense. It's usually better for power usage and cooling and things like that. But
an hour. Right.
Well, it depends on the games, and it depends on the cards too.
Dude,
it can be a little, it can be a lot, it can be a whole lot. It just depends on what you think the value for the return is, and it's different from person to person. But again, in PC gaming, you get to make that decision. You have the freedom, you have the choice to make that decision for yourself. I'll leave a link in the description to a MaximumPC.com page where they do some benchmarks on NVIDIA GTX 980 Ti and SLI with different resolutions and different games. Research, data. There's a lot of data out there. There's a lot of places to go. There's a lot of benchmarks out there. And you can make an informed decision on your own whether or not you want to. No one's cramming it down your throats. No one's forcing you to. You can make that decision on your own.
That's because you don't know what you're doing again. I build PCs for, all the time. I'm building one right now while I'm talking, while we're listening. I'm building a PC. I build 3 PCs in my sleep. I was asleep yesterday, and I built a gaming rig and designed my own video card for it. So, keep talking, Mr. Dumbass, Mr. Fat Dumbass.
Remember, I'm the young kid.
All right, anyway, so moving on. One thing I want to mention in my previous video that I said that was, I don't know that it was disputed so much. I think there was a misunderstanding of some kind.
Wait, a misunderstanding? With you? No.
An advantage that gaming consoles legitimately have, whether you like them or not, you have to concede this. A gaming console, like the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, whatever, the games come on physical media.
Not all of them, though. Some are download only.
That physical media has a resale value. Now, here's the problem. PC, I kept seeing this brought up over and over. Yeah, PCs have physical media too. There's CDs, there's DVDs, there's all kinds of stuff. You can buy games and you can buy it in a box. I don't know what you're talking about. What you talking about, dumbass?
Remember, I'm the kid.
What am I talking about? Well,
He's
you
forgetting.
can buy PC games sometimes, somewhere.
hell-bent on making
Not
a
all the
joke.
time, not every game. But you can buy some PC games in a physical format, in a box. And when you get that box home, it may even have a disc in it if you're lucky.
You're implying here that the norm is to receive an empty box without a game when you buy one online. You're implying that the norm is to be swindled. I would like to see some evidence for this. I'd like to see a stat or a study, because I'm pretty certain that if most of the time the regular expectation was to get swindled, no one would ever do it. I mean, listen to yourself, Cyrus. You're saying that it is the norm for you to try to buy a PC game online and it doesn't even have a disc in the box. Like Ubisoft and EA, they're just mailing all these empty boxes to people, and you
That'd
win
be
the lottery if
hilarious.
there's actually a CD in there. Like that's what you're saying. You're trying to pass this off as an argument. Did you ever stop and think, maybe this isn't a smart thing to say?
But it also has an activation code or a Steam key,
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
something along those lines. And if you activate that, now you have the digital rights to it. You have the digital rights. So if you resell that game, there's no new activation code. There's no new Steam key, right? So
Eh?
I don't know. I mean,
What the fuck?
Well, not that it matters or anything. I mean, there's not going to be a disc in the box anyway, right? I mean, why worry about it?
this was my point, that you have a resale value, and you can't really take your PC game down to GameStop and trade it in and get anything for it. At least not that I'm aware of. If they're doing something different now than what they've been doing, and there's some way to decouple a Steam key or an activation code, I mean, I don't know about it. You don't know because you're stupid.
God.
Alright, anyway.
Hilarious.
So, I think that choices are important. One of the points that he made about my video was that the more choices you have, the better, and more choices is always good, and I agree with that. As long as those choices work. As long as they're real choices.
He talks about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton here for a moment and cutting that shit out.
That's the case with PC gaming. You may have more options. You may be able to go into the game and set options and things like that, but if they're not working properly, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't get in there and code it and fix it yourself. You gotta wait for patches and you gotta wait for things like that. Same thing happens on consoles now.
You keep saying, but I don't think any PC gamer who would listen to you knows at all what you mean by this. You say, yeah, you may have more options. Yeah, you may be able to modify files if you want. Then you say, but if they're not working properly, I mean, what do you mean if they're not working properly? What do you mean if they're not working properly? In what circumstance have you seen where you've tried to do this and it didn't work? In what circumstance has there been a file that couldn't be modified to let you do what you want? I mean, like I said before, in Fallout 4, which I've been just powering through recently, I wanted to change the FOV for the default to 90. And so I just went to the INI file, changed 2 numbers, and bam, it was 90. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we can do. You want to change the amount of bodies that stick around in Killing Floor 2 on screen, just go to the INI file, just change it. It is literally just editing a text document. Anybody can do it. Anyone can do it. A caveman can do it. You're trying to take one of the greatest things about PC games and somehow turn it into a negative by saying, oh, well, what if it just doesn't work? Well, you can say that about anything. My Ferrari can go 6,000 miles an hour. Yeah, but what if it just doesn't? A fair point. What if it just doesn't? Easy fixes like these are optional. For the most part, people normally don't go into files in order to fix something. They go into the files to just change something to their preferences because choices. You're trying to turn this into a negative thing. Well, what if it just doesn't work? What if anything just doesn't work? That's not exactly an argument against something, but what if it just doesn't work? Well, if it just doesn't work, then you're on the same level as consoles. So even in a worst case scenario, when going into a file and modifying it to your liking just doesn't work, then the console still doesn't have an advantage over that. But let me give you an example. Okay, right after I said that, I just started recording my desktop. Okay, you go there. You go over here. I'll use you later. Okay, so let's go to Fallout 4. Right, I don't have anything embarrassing on my monitor, do I? Let's see. I'll just look by later. I think I should be all right. All right, let's go to Fallout 4 here. Double click. Bam. This isn't the normal launcher, right? This is a Fallout 4 launcher by Belago. Now, I could either play or I can go to the settings. Now, this looks complicated, but it's actually super, super, super easy. Sorry, I felt a really bad sneeze going on. But when you click on something, you just click on what you want. Or let's say I want to change to FOV. FOV, right there, bam, filter FOV. Moves the Z-axis of the camera while in melee, and you could set the value. Moves the Z-axis of the third-person camera while not in combat, so you can toggle that left and right. That's actually kind of useful. I might want to change that. Default FOV. All right, 80. Why was that at 80? Oh, that's the default FOV for UI. All right, there we go. Field of view for the third-person camera sets 80 to 100 for a better PC experience. All right, it's kind of redundant, better PC experience, but current value is at 90. The default is at 70. What the fuck, Bethesda? Why would that be at 70? Dear Lord. Ugh. But all this stuff, you just click on it and it tells you what it does. I mean, some of these might not actually have it, but all the things that you need to actually change stuff that is of a point or that is really important, it's just right there. It's easy. It's super easy. It's super, super easy to do. And using mods is not hard. I really am not at all tech savvy. I really am not. I'm not a computer guy. But I had no problem at all registering on a website, getting Nexus Mod Manager downloaded, and just installing mods onto it. And then you just flick them on, and that's that. There you go. It's really, really, really simple. They say you have to wait for patches to come out. Well, no, actually, you don't. In a lot of cases, you can just change something yourself. Is SLI not functioning correctly? Well, I got a program where I could edit that myself if I need to. But to me, it sounds like sometimes on the PC, a game might not function as well as it could, so sometimes you have to wait for a patch, whereas on the console, you have to do the same thing. There's that problem, except where on the console, you can't fix your own problem. A lot of the times on the PC, you can fix your own problems without a patch from the devs.
But, yeah, a lot of console ports to PC just have a lot more issues like that.
Now, I don't have any data, and I don't have a poll to pull on, but I would guess that most PC gamers would much rather play, right, a quote-unquote poor PC port than they would play the console version.
So that is a frustration, and I think that's a legitimate frustration. But maybe you don't think so. I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
Off of the top of my head, using memory right now as I record this part of the video, I cannot currently think of any console game that was ported to the PC, right? Console game that was ported to the PC that had a problem that legitimately frustrated me. Maybe there was and I just forgot about it, in which case it must not be that major, but I can't think of any. And you just never give examples of anything, so I won't hold my breath for that.
So anyway, I think it's important that we express our frustrations whenever there's something about, whether it's console gaming or PC gaming or mobile gaming, whatever, you know, tablets and stuff like that. I think it's important to express your frustrations because, you know, no system is perfect. You know, I mean, God knows. I mean, yes, in some ways, PC gaming is light years beyond any other format.
Just in some ways.
But in some ways, it's not. And, you know, that's disappointing. You know. But anyway, I just think we should be able to voice things like that. And You know, and I think that actually saying something about something when you think there's a problem is a good thing. Well, good. I'm glad to hear you say that, dummy, because I too would like to voice my problems with everything that you just said. In fact, I think this entire video is a complete waste of time. You think you're really funny, but you're not. I'm funny. I'm way funnier than you. I'm so funny. I do all kinds of funny videos all the time, and I like to use pictures of dogs. I don't know why, but dogs. And they have sunglasses on. Because that's cool. Unlike you, dummy.
Yeah, I know that was pretty painful to sit through. Now, I'm not going to go into the historical